point of the horoscope is the actualization of the sun sign. The rest of the planets work in concert to unfold its destiny. The role of Mars in the chart is to protect and defend this process. It shows how we handle challenges in life. It's the way we go about getting what we want and the gratification of desires. How does the most masculine planet express itself in the gentle, misty waters of Pisces? Can the opium eater of the zodiac also be a warrior? Remember, this Mars contains a little piece of every other Mars. Therefore, it does some surprising things and contains unusual depths. Fragments of memory and images and experiences bubble up in the tides. So this extremely versatile placement can adopt whatever identity it needs for the moment, and you may not see that character again for years. This placement rides currents and flows around challenges. In fact, it feels most powerful and confident when it breaks free of its individuality and becomes one with that flow, with the source of all life, visible and invisible. That's why the 12th sign is associated with spiritual life. I've heard this Mars call themselves underachievers, but often they have achieved quite a bit and don't recognize it as such. One of the reasons for this is because the Western world is a hyper-masculine, consumer-driven, outer world achievement-oriented place that measures success largely by who you know and how many awards you win. Conversely, this Mars tends to be motivated by service to other creatures. They're facilitators rather than leaders, and they're motivated by things like the wholeness of their consciousness, the purity of their experience, and the truth of their perceptions. The measurement for Mars in Pisces is the meaning they find in life. They want to know if their heart is well woven with their soul. Sometimes these things can't be measured, and sometimes they can. When you have soft and personal objectives, they can easily slip away. This Mars is associated with rainy and cloudy skies, so visibility can be low. And because there's an oceanic energy, the warrior can find it difficult to take direct and quick, decisive actions. The not very surprising dark side of this Mars is a kind of paralysis or sitting and spinning. Perhaps the poetry is absent from life, and so it falls into melancholia. Its boundaries are about as firm as water, so it's easily exploited, which can create more depression as they go. Weak boundaries are, again, the very thing that makes this placement prone to spiritual states, and yet it also leads to excesses and extremes. So the dark side of this Mars can be quite intense. In truth, it's made for the realms of timeless romance, the perfect moment, psychedelic journeys, and states of meditation. It wants to drink ambrosia with the gods. It wants a sense of interconnectedness. Mars in Pisces, at the core, wants love. It's waiting for a meaningful moment to arise, because that glimpse of the whole picture, that kind of clarity, is why they feel they're here. It's a glimmer of the paradise on earth they've been waiting for. A danger is becoming angry and cynical because there's evil in the world. This placement has made it if anger is followed up by love. St. Augustine said, "Hope has two beautiful daughters, anger and courage. Anger at the way things are, and the courage to act so they don't remain that way. A deep anger at human cruelty is really an expression of empathy. This knowledge must drive Mars in Pisces. When you feel deeply and love deeply, you suffer deeply. Pain can be born out of an everlasting affection for living, and it can make you choose to devote your life to the most vulnerable among us rather than the powered and the privileged." I mentioned earlier that this Mars is non-logical. Their hazy inner circumstances are conducive to them having to use their senses and intuition. A feminine force like intuition is often degraded while logic is exalted. But Mars here has to pursue it because for them to live without intuition is to be sightless. Mars in Pisces spends decades developing trust and faith in it, sensing and feeling their way around the world accurately. Mars in Pisces is born with a challenge, and that is having total trust in their intuitive navigation system. The underlying goal is to distinguish soul-based messages from those that are coming from some other layer of the psyche. In a matter related to this, Pisces is one of the signs of the zodiac associated with the arts and creativity. Why is that? Because while Virgo is about breaking down information and analyzing it, the opposite sign, Pisces, is about synthesis or drawing all the fragments together. Creativity brings all things Pisces into one place: the compassion, the pain, the drive for dissolution, the desire for beauty, the need for love, the cloudiness, and the empathy. A painting or script or composition is the whole picture, the heart and soul in something new. Creative works are not only a service, they also reach out and leave both the receiver and the giver with more than the sum of the parts. The masculine ideal is a wise man, a dreamer, a world unto himself, a healer, a village elder, and a peacemaker. His body can present in any form, but the energy is wide open and often unassuming. Straight women with Mars in the last sign want a love that's complete, so much so that they don't have to seek anything outside it to be happy. They're attracted to poets and laid-back, sensitive types. Thank you for watching Secrets from an Astrologer's Desk, Mars in Pisces. I'm Joy. More videos to come.